So, hey guys, how are you? May you find there in your own place. And I'm here also good in W. We are back to another fire video. And today we're gonna talk about the top 10 list of JJK manga. And before we start our video, if you're new, then hit the subscribe button and make sure hit the bell icon and set on all option. So without further ado, here we go. So here are the top 10 list of the JJ characters in JJK manga, so let's start. So we have our first character is Ryushigori, and he is one of the strongest character in JJK manga, and he is reincarnated in the culling game as a player. He is the strong sorcerer in his past life, and he is happy, and he almost no have any regret in his past life, and he is able to almost matching Yuta in culling game art. Let's see about his main abilities that make him top 10 strongest character. Ryu's ability to fire cursed energy like a cannon makes him a massive wide-range threat. He is also the only sorcerer who can unleash the same amount of power regardless of whether or not his cursed technique is activated. His pure offensive firepower annihilated most of Kurushi in one shot. And now move on in top 10 and 9th list of this list. So our next character is Yuzu. So without any wasting any time, let's see about her powers and abilities, why she is in 9th position. Yuzu was a powerful sorcerer of the Heian era, the golden age of Jujutsu. She made a name for herself in a time period when the strongest fighters boasted incredible curse techniques. She was on par with these sorcerers despite her technique being far less efficient in its consumption of cursed energy than average. However, as a battle-hardened veteran of the Heian era, Yuzu used her combat experiences to figure out a way to work around her deficiencies. During the culling game, Yuzu was able to fight on nearly even terms with Sukuna after Ryushigori, a powerful sorcerer in his own right, was dispatched instantly by him. Their battle was initially competitive, where Yuzu landed several direct hits and stood against the 10 Shadows technique. She displayed the full strength of her construction technique as well as the ability to expand her domain. However, Yuzu was unable to force Sukuna to use his own innate technique, and she was ultimately bested by the full might of Megumi's 10 Shadows technique. Now we are on the list of 8th rank, and again without wasting any time, let's make a move on next character. So our next character is Yuki Suk, and again let's see about her powers and abilities. Yuki possesses elite combat instincts and is highly talented in Jujutsu, capable of using her innate technique, barrier techniques, and domain expansion. She's also fully capable of instructing students and fostering elite talent despite not being a teacher at Jujutsu High. Yuki introduced Aitudu to Jujutsu and mentored him into the exceptional grade 1 sorcerer he's flourished into. Her training was extremely grueling, enough so to physically scar Tudu for life. Tudu has shown the fruits of her imparted knowledge time and time again, including learning to use simple domain from her. Yuki and Garuda attack KenZaku. Yuki pressuring KenZaku with Garuda despite her poor condition. Yuki displayed her own strength when she effortlessly repelled Yuram's Icefall technique using only Garuda. KenZaku's domain expansion severely injured Sukuna only because she chose to rely on Tengen's help, and their countermeasures had a severe miscalculation. Yuki's simple domain couldn't stand up to KenZaku's domain, but using her domain would have likely ended with a different outcome. Yuki continued fighting despite her injuries, and with Choso's help, she drove the curse user into a corner, despite initially believing Choso would only hold her back. Yuki fought effectively alongside Choso even while her body was mangled and proficiently utilized reverse curse technique to heal herself while Choso was holding their opponent off. Once healed, Yuki quickly regained momentum with her pure destructive power, but KenZaku outwitted her and dealt an unexpected fatal blow. Yuki fought to the end and used her innate technique to transform into a black hole with the potential to destroy the world. She suppressed its power using her will and prevented a catastrophe, impressing even the callous KenZaku. And she gave a good match with KenZaku, but you know KenZaku is KenZaku. So now move on another character mean top 7th. So now let's move into Gojo main abilities and powers. Gojo is shown to be a master at hand-to-hand combat, while also perfectly channeling his cursed energy through weapons to become even more deadly at close range. Gojo has and can use incredible amounts of cursed energy, manipulating it over great distances. During the night parade of 100 demons, he controlled the curses in Tokyo while also controlling those at Jujutsu High, all while also fighting Yuta and Rika. Gojo's unique curse technique is the ability to consume and control a curse using his own cursed energy known as cursed spirit manipulation. After consuming the remains of a curse, he is able to store it within his body and draw them out in combat as needed. This does limit his true potential to how many curses he has stored, but he has spent many years amassing thousands of curses and has methods of obtaining more easily when needed. Because a lot of Gojo's power is based around the curses he uses, he has great versatility in combat, as he has curses for any situation. Gojo can also combine large amounts of curses into a ball of cursed energy known as Maximum Uzumaki. This attack is more powerful as more curses are used within it. While this attack is incredibly powerful, it requires a massive amount of curses, with him using 4,000 curses in the attack against Yuta. So now let's move in 6th character of our list. So we have now Kenji Hakari on our list, the best gambler. Okay, now let's move on his abilities and powers that makes him up in this list. Hakari is widely recognized as one of the most powerful students at Tokyo Jujutsu High. Satoru Gojo, the undisputed strongest sorcerer in the world, believes that Hakari and Udokatsu will have the potential to rival his power one day. 11 as Yuji stated, all of his senpai have stated that Hakari is exceptionally strong. Yuta even believes Hakari is the stronger of the two of them when he's worked up. Kenji is not only an elite close-quarters combatant who possesses serrated cursed energy, but an extraordinary jujutsu specialist armed with a dynamic domain. He distinguished himself in the culling game by defeating Hajime Kashimo, not only one of the strongest players in the death game, but one of the most powerful sorcerers KenZaku ever encountered in 1,000 years. Kenji's domain is unique, and his luck is reliable, making for a combination capable of opposing any threat. Charles Bernard could see briefly into Kenji's future, but he was instantly bested as soon as Kenji hit the jackpot of his domain. Kashimo nearly killed Kenji on several exchanges, but he was able to repeatedly open his domain and successfully hit the jackpot to enter his unkillable mode. Kenji's strategic thinking and expert battle sense are ultimately what complemented his techniques best and allowed him to achieve victory against Kashimo. So now finally in top 5, without wasting any time, let's go into it. So our next character is Hajime Kashimo. Let's take a step into Hajime. Hajime Kashimo is one of the strongest sorcerers KenZaku came across 400 years ago. Although KenZaku considered him inferior to Sukuna, he respected Hajime's strength and invited him to enter a binding vow to participate in the culling game. Even as an elderly man, Hajime could decimate entire battlefields and leave numerous dismembered corpses in his wake. Returned to a youthful body with a second chance at the prime of his life, Hajime quickly dominated the culling game and became the first player to add a new rule. Hajime effortlessly eliminated at least 40 other players in only 12 days and gained notoriety throughout the Tokyo colonies. Hajime considered all those he eliminated to be far too weak, even more so than those from 400 years ago. When Hajime encountered Panda, they quickly considered that the harmless animal could actually be another player. He attacked Panda and completely outclassed him in a fight. Panda considered Hajime to be overwhelmingly swift and devastatingly strong. Hajime's speed, strength, and durability quickly overpowered even Panda's gorilla mode. Able to overcome Cursed Corpse's attacks, including withstanding unblockable drumming beat with ease, Hajime considered Panda to be a weakling as well. Even when faced with Panda's trump card, Hajime easily overcame his opponent's Triceratops mode using his electrified cursed energy that struck like a bolt of lightning. Matched up against Hakari, Hajime was able to go toe-to-toe with the elite Jujutsu high student while he was overflowing with infinite cursed energy. While the damage wasn't long-lasting due to Hakari's fully automatic reverse curse technique, Hajime was able to momentarily overpower him by blasting his arm off with a bolt of lightning. His lightning abilities makes him almost a godlike being. So now let's move on fourth strongest of this list. Now we have our mastermind KenZaku. Today we talk about KenZaku in very short, then we talk about his full ability in separate videos someday. Now let's move on his feats and powers. As a 1,000-year-old sorcerer, KenZaku possesses incredible knowledge about curses, curse techniques, and the Jujutsu world. He was stated by Tengen to be the second most powerful barrier user after himself. During his possession of Noritoshi Kamo, he became known as history's evilest sorcerer, and he is able to create special grade cursed objects, cursed womb, death paintings thanks to his experiments. In Suguru Gito's body, he has led a group of incredibly powerful special grade curses and made them into a functioning team capable of being a great threat to the Jujutsu world and Japan. He makes great use of his current cursed technique, arguably more knowledgeable about it than its original user. The only hindrance to his planning seems to be the 6 eyes, but he has seen a way around that in the modern age. He is a skilled manipulator, as he planned to make Mahito and Jogo grow, only to absorb them, something that he achieved with the former, but not the latter due to Sukuna killing him. Due to his intelligence, he can quickly deduce the strengths and weaknesses of cursed techniques and has a deep, fundamental understanding of Jujutsu. In overall, he is immensely powerful and experienced JJK character. So we are finally in top 3 in our list, so without further ado, here we go. So we have in our 3rd position our copy ninja Kakashi Hideki. Sorry guys, jokes aside, he is Udokatsu. So now let's move into Yuta again. Udokatsu gained his power and abilities following the death of his childhood friend Rika Orimoto. She cursed Yuta as she had a tremendous love for him and never wanted to leave his side. Rika Orimoto, who transformed into a special grade vengeful cursed spirit, earned the title the Queen of Curses and eventually became one of the major sources of Yuta's overwhelming power. Udokatsu is undoubtedly a prodigy who excels in everything he set his eyes on. As mentioned earlier, he worked hard and trained his skills to become one of the strongest sorcerers today. He is an incredible weapon expert and a master when it comes to hand-to-hand battles backed by his street-smart level intellect. Udokatsu possesses a vast amount of cursed energy, and we can assume he would never run out of cursed energy during a fight. This is because he comes from a powerful clan and naturally possesses massive amounts of energy. But you should remember that he has access to the ultimate cursed energy levels he obtained from Rika's curse. The combination of both incredible sources of cursed energy caused him to construct a tank within himself, which is filled with a boundless amount of cursed energy. So when it comes to cursed energy, no one in the Jujutsu world can compete with him, not even his master Gojo Satoru won with the blindfold. So now let's move on our top 2 list. Now we have our fan favorite, the one and only honored one throughout the heaven and earth. He is our boy Gojo Satoru. So our video is so long and now make it short without wasting any time. Let's get into it. Gojo can move at extreme speeds using his unique cursed techniques, along with teleporting both himself and others by manipulating space. Gojo excels in hand-to-hand combat and can use the Black Flash technique like other highly trained sorcerers. Gojo also has very high physical strength and has been shown to pull the limbs off a curse with his bare hands. Gojo can use a reversed cursed technique, which manipulates cursed energy around him to heal himself from even fatal wounds when needed. Gojo's main ability that builds into his others is Limitless. Limitless allows Gojo to use cursed energy to alter the space around him and his enemies. He can alter space at an atomic level, letting him decimate reality around him as needed. Through manipulation, he can expand or shrink space, creating his blue-red and purple cursed techniques. Like its name, Limitless can be used in an incredible amount of ways, only really limited by the user's imagination. Gojo has been seen to alter the space around a person's limbs to twist them in circles, leaving the limbs barely attached and the person immobile. This curse technique is passed down through Gojo's clan and requires an incredible amount of cursed energy to use. So this is for Gojo. I shortly explained about his abilities and powers, and overall, he is the one of the most powerful Jujutsu sorcerer in modern era. So now let's move on our top and one of the most strongest character in Jujutsu Kaisen, and my favorite one. I'm not biased here. And now welcome our king of the curses and king of all sorcerers, Sukuna Ryleman. So without wasting any time here, let's see about Sukuna. Back in the golden age of Jujutsu, the Heian era, Ryleman Sukuna was feared and regarded by all those in his time as the most powerful sorcerer of the time, defeating and killing thousands of Jujutsu sorcerers even as they sharpened their skills against him. One of his feats included single-handedly slaughtering both the sun, moon, stars, and the 5 empty generals so utterly that they were unrecognizable as corpses, the most elite of the Fujiwara clan's subjugation units, leaving the authorities of Japan so utterly terrified that they were willing to hold festivities in his honor. The impact Sukuna left on history until he died earned him the title of the strongest sorcerer in history, as well as the king of curses, regarded as the strongest cursed spirit in history. His strength is still held in such a high regard that even Satoru Gojo, the strongest Jujutsu sorcerer of the modern age, with arrogance levels of confidence and pride in his abilities, acknowledged his strength and that a fight between the two of them would be difficult. Sukuna's innate curse technique seems to be the dismantle and cleave technique because we saw him use it both times. Both of them are slashing attacks, but they are a bit special. Sukuna's curse technique is invisible, meaning his opponents can't actually see the slashing attacks at all. We can think of dismantle and cleave as 2 different knives, as the manga illustrates it as well. Even at his weakest state upon his incarnation in Yuju's body for most of the time he spent there due to lacking most of his fingers, Sukuna remained extremely strong, capable of effortlessly dispatching powerful cursed spirits, including the likes of a cursed spirit who had ate his finger, which he easily retrieved from the cursed spirit after completely overpowering it, while purposefully weakening himself by removing Yuji's heart to ensure Yuji could not switch back with him. Sukuna utterly defeated Megumi Fushiguro, the inheritor of the Zenin clan's prized 10 Shadows technique and a prodigious genius who started school as a grade 2 sorcerer with one of the highest potentials in Jujutsu High, to where Megumi admitted how utterly outmatched he was and was more than willing to unveil Mahoraga to defeat him. Sukuna would have killed Megumi had he not been interested in Megumi's unique talents. Although before he could fight Megumi's trump card, Yuji managed to regain control of his body. Once Yuji's body had consumed 15 fingers, Sukuna's overwhelming cursed energy was felt throughout Shibuya once he was awakened, compared to Satoru's own while being overwhelmingly more sinister. With 75% of his strength restored, Sukuna proved capable of overwhelming Jogo, the most powerful cursed spirit in Mahito's group, in a mostly one-sided battle as he easily overpowered the best efforts of his foe, leaving him utterly unable to even land a single hit that would get Sukuna to join him before killing him with his own speciality of fire. His last act during the Shibuya incident was to defeat Mahoraga single-handedly, a feat no user of the 10 Shadows technique, and even a member of the Gojo family with the 6 eyes had done. So guys, this is for today list, and hope you enjoy the video and keep support. If you like my content, then make sure like this video and subscribe and comment which topic I need to pick up for the next one. Hope you guys watching till the end. This is for today. Thanks for watching.